The Prometheus hung in the void like a monument to human defiance, its titanium-reinforced hull scarred by 1,000 battles across 100 star systems. Commander Orla Reeves stood on the bridge, her emerald eyes fixed on the viewscreen where the Zytharian homeworld rotated slowly, its purple atmosphere swirling with storm systems that had raged for millennia. "Status report," she commanded, her voice cutting through the tense silence. Lieutenant James Park looked up from his tactical station, his youthful face drawn tight with the weight of what they were about to do. "All weapon systems online, Commander. The orbital defense network is in disarray. They're scrambling what's left of their fleet, but—" He paused, swallowing hard. "They don't stand a chance." Orla's jaw tightened. 3 years. 3 years since the Zytharian Collective had unleashed their synthetic plague on New Edinburgh, turning humanity's proudest colony into a graveyard of 8 billion souls. She had watched the footage, children liquefying from the inside out, their screams echoing across emergency broadcasts that nobody could answer. The Zytharians had called it necessary culling in their cold, chittering language, their insectoid faces incapable of expressing remorse. Now humanity had answered. "Commander," the voice of Ambassador Krellix crackled through the communication channel. The Zytharian diplomat's translator struggled to convey the desperation in his clicking mandibles. "Please reconsider. Our government did not sanction the bioweapon attack. It was the work of extremist factions." "Extremist factions you protected," Orla interrupted, her knuckles white as she gripped the command chair. "Extremist factions you sheltered while humanity buried its dead. While mothers clutched their melting children. While fathers watched their wives dissolve into pools of genetic slurry." James glanced at her, uncertainty flickering across his features. "Commander, the preliminary scans show massive civilian populations in the coastal cities. Billions of non-combatants? Orla's laugh was bitter. "Tell me, Lieutenant, how many non-combatants died on New Edinburgh?" "How many children?" She turned to face him fully. "The Zytharians made their choice when they crossed the line from warfare to genocide. Now they face the consequences." The bridge crew shifted uncomfortably. They all knew the stories, had lost friends and family to the plague. But this was different. This was them becoming the monsters. On the viewscreen, small craft began launching from the planet's surface, escape pods, civilian transports, anything that could break atmosphere. Desperate insects fleeing the fire humanity was about to unleash. "Commander Reeves," a new voice entered the channel. This one belonged to Counselor Mothara of the Galactic Federation. The moth-like alien's wings trembled with agitation. "The Federation has voted to condemn this action. If you proceed, humanity will be expelled from civilized space. You will be labeled as war criminals, genociders no better than the Zytharians," Orla finished. "Perhaps, but we'll be alive genociders. Our species will survive. Can the Zytharians say the same in 10 minutes? James stood from his station. "Commander, I'm formally requesting you reconsider." "This isn't justice. This is revenge," Orla said quietly. "Yes, Lieutenant. That's exactly what it is." She turned back to the viewscreen, watching the desperate exodus of ships fleeing the doomed world. "Do you know what the Zytharians said when we begged them to stop the plague? When we offered them anything, technology, territory, resources, to give us the cure? James said nothing. They said humans breed too quickly, that we're a virus infecting the galaxy, that sometimes a physician must use harsh medicine." Her voice dropped to barely a whisper. "Now I'm the physician, and this is the medicine." "Weapons charged," reported Ensign Torres from the gunnery station. "Mass drivers online. Antimatter torpedoes loaded. Planet cracker warheads armed and ready. The Prometheus carried weapons banned by every galactic treaty ever written. Weapons humanity had built in secret. Weapons designed not to win battles but to end worlds. After New Edinburgh, the gloves had come off. Humanity had looked at the rules of civilized warfare and decided that civilization was a luxury for species that hadn't watched their children die screaming. "Fire," Orla commanded. The Prometheus unleashed hell. Mass driver rounds, telephone pole-sized tungsten rods, accelerated to relativistic speeds and screamed toward the planet. They struck with the force of nuclear weapons, punching through the crust and into the mantle. Antimatter torpedoes followed, their detonations visible from orbit as flowers of annihilation bloomed across the Zytharian homeworld. And then came the planet crackers. James watched, his face ashen, as the warheads burrowed deep into the planet's core before detonating. The effect was horrifyingly beautiful. Fracture lines spreading like spiderwebs across continents. Oceans boiling away into steam. Tectonic plates shattering like dropped china. Within 20 minutes, the Zetharian homeworld was dying. Within an hour, it would be an asteroid field. Communication from the Federation, reported the comms officer. They're demanding we stand down immediately or face military intervention. Orla smiled grimly. Tell them humanity accepts their condemnation. Tell them we'll wear it like a badge of honor. She turned to James, who looked like he might be sick. Tell them that humanity learned an important lesson from the Zetharians. Mercy is a luxury reserved for species that can afford to be weak. We can't. Not anymore. As the Prometheus turned away from the dying world, Orla felt the weight of billions of deaths on her shoulders. But beneath that weight was something harder, colder. Satisfaction. The Zetharians had taught humanity that the galaxy was cruel, that mercy was weakness, that genocide was just another tool in the arsenal. Humanity had learned that lesson well. Perhaps too well.